Good morning, everyone. I'm Joe Abbate. Welcome to Tank Bangers, 9 a.m. on Monday morning, July 21st. Thanks for joining me. You could, of course, comment where you're watching the show from while I continue to get things set up here. Got a little bit of a late start this morning, but I will be with you. Well, I am with you already. So just sit tight and we'll get the show started in just a minute. Right after I get this camera set up. This is the International Motocross Museum camera today. We're just about ready to go. I'm going to get my camera angles right here. No. That should about do it. Everybody. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tank Bangers. This is episode 29 already. And I'm getting some feedback from one of these cameras. Okay. Today we're going to be working on this CR tank. Have to get it ready for welding, and I always do the final steps of sanding before I get it welded, and then freshen it up a little bit after we get the welding done. So you just sit back and enjoy the show, so to speak. And if there's anything else you want to see on the show this week, let me know. Today's show is, of course, brought to you by the International Motocross Museum. Be sure to visit them online at internationalmotocrossmuseum.org or on Facebook. great page over there. A lot of things are happening behind the scenes with the International Motocross Museum, and you're going to be hearing a lot more about it in the very, very near future. I don't have my ratchet strap set up this morning, and this shouldn't be in here. Okay. I think you can see that pretty well right there. Got a bit of a low spot. We're going to address that right now. Okay. It's very, very shallow. All right, that's feeling really good. I don't know why I'm not really seeing any. Not really seeing any viewers here this morning. I mean, I'm seeing them, but I can't tell who they are. Hi, Robert. Thanks for joining me this morning. Looks like it's just me and you, but you know what they say. Well, they don't say it. It says it in the Bible. Where two or more are gathered in my name, I am with them. Hey, Ken Ketchum. I'm sorry, Kim Ketchum. Looking good, huh? Trying my best. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, that was the 180. I'm going to follow up with some 220. I'm sorry, 240. Always keep your paper clean. Yep. I never never did this before. I don't know why I'm going to do it now, but
What the heck? There was a time I didn't use
rulers either.
Oh, there is just the pressure on there anyway.
Oh.
Well,
You witnessed it here, fellas, for the first time. I tried this, and it worked really nicely.
wow. We don't have many viewers here today, do we? Oh, Larry L. Terry is with us. So that's Kim, Larry, and Robert. Thanks for being here, guys.
Sorry, you can't see it from that angle. I have another camera over there. You go on Facebook a little later today, you'll see it in hyperlapse, and you'll be able to see this angle. Well, maybe I could swing this camera around a little bit so you can get a little bit of a better view of what I'm doing. Now I'm going to make it pretty nice through here, but I'm not going to go crazy because there's a big crack up front. It's going to have to get welded. I'll have to reshape that. I'm going to make it nice. What time are you coming back?
I'm stopping at Blackie's to bring the stickers.
Oh, okay.
I'll be back around noon.
All right. All right. I've got a lot more to do on the top. Here, I'll show you. Along here. But I know you guys like to see when I get that brush finish on the side. So I'm going to give you your money's worth today. Frank Naby, thanks for joining Larry and Kim and Robert and I. I use a little brake clean on there. Takes off what the glass cleaner won't. Ensures me a good, clean, grease, dirt-free surface to stick my tape on. Oh, this thing must have quit. Okay. My other camera quit on me. So I'm going to spin this one around. Didn't quit. I'm using up more of the battery than I had available. It wasn't fully charged when I put it on this morning, and I have it on charge right now. But I guess I'm drawing more than I'm replacing. So yes, the annoying feedback has stopped. And I'm just going to do this, and we'll take it from there. That's the best I got right now. This guy's still charging up. So as I was saying, I clean it up with this stuff right here. They really like to use Amsoil glass cleaner. Great for when I'm going over it when there's dust on it. Cleans it up really well. But when I'm ready to put the tape on it, I want to use this breaking parts cleaner. You've used it before. You know what it does. Cuts oil, grease, dirt, cuts everything. Gives a nice dry surface. Maybe tomorrow we'll spend a good portion of the show. I'll show you how to get this area clean and why. I mean, obviously, everything is important to get clean. But when you look on some tanks, when you check around that petcock area or around the bends at the bottom, that's the difference between a good job and a not so good job. Okay, now, Yep. My tape is not doing so well here this morning. I don't know where I have another one, but that's okay. This one will work. I didn't like where it landed at first, and it kind of ripped at the end. So, of course, there's glue on it. I don't want to get the glue off. You know what, guys? Now that I have this thing nice and clean, yeah, I would love to cut that side in for you and show you how that looks. But I'm seeing something I can't overlook, and I'm going to move things around here just a little bit, and I'm going to keep on working. I have to do it anyway, so if the show runs long, well, then it runs long. Maybe some other people will come in. Maybe you guys have other things to do. Either way, that's okay. But I don't want to miss this opportunity because I see something here now that it's really clean, and I've got the light is on it from the fluorescence, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's right here. Hang on. Maybe the fluorescents are a bit too much. The other one is shining right on it. See how we could see that now. No, still got quite a reflection there. What happens if I do this? A lot of reflection. Not any better with the door closed. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I want you guys to just hang on just a second. And we'll be right back after this word from Full Circle Racing.
I get asked often, what's the most important thing on Clunker? The answer's simple, it's me. That's why I use Full Circle Racing wheels prepped by Tom McAllister. So should you. Watch this and learn why. When racing vintage motocross where suspension is very limited, your wheels can be the difference between winning or serious injury. We chose to run Full Circle Racing wheels because of the super high quality materials and the heavy duty spokes used. Prepped by Tom McAllister, I have the confidence on the track to push way harder through the rough stuff and the bigger jumps, knowing my wheels are going to stay under me. Hey, Clunker may be 50 years old, but his wheels are brand new, and yours should be too. Call Tom McAllister at Full Circle Racing today.
And we are back, just like that. That commercial gives me just enough time. Let's leave it at that. All right. And what I wanted to do was I did not want to pass up an opportunity. I'm seeing things here now, guys, like I said, with the fluorescent, now that it's clean, now that it's all sanded, and it happens all the time, there's always a little bit of something left somewhere. And while I was going to cut the side in, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to address this other issue that I have. And I'll be able to show it to you, I think. Right here. But if I have to move the camera or do something to get you to see it, I'll do it, whatever it is. Yeah, I guess I could do it with this. I don't know if you can see it. Right here. There's a couple little spots here that were a little low. And when it's all sanded and it's fresh and everything's wiped off, that's when you start to see stuff. That's when you have to go back. As difficult as it is because you've been working on it for so long. But that's when you have to go back and follow up. So that's what we're doing. Much better. Much better. A little something going on right here too. Okay. Now I could sleep if I had to. This thing's still on. I guess it is. Anybody else watching? Anybody else commenting? Nobody, huh? Only the retired guys are watching today, I think. Oh, wait, I do see some activity up here. Dennis Foley. Thank you for joining us, Dennis. I guess this is a pretty good angle when I'm working on stuff like this with this computer, except I'm going to, it's a brand new computer, and I have it out here where I'm sanding. All right, now that I got the keyboard covered, got a big crack over here. I don't know if you can't really see it, but there is a big crack that starts over here, goes over the top of the tank. So I'm going to cut this in pretty well, like 95%. Because then when I get this welded, I'm going to have to shape that back in. Guaranteed I'm going to have to sand all this. But I got that little wavy spot out from earlier, and I'm really happy about that. And I got some things to contend with along the edge up here. $40, $320. Where's TV today? Where's Swamp Picker? Where's the Swamp Picker today? Where's Tim Whitehouse? He's always here. So much nicer now. So much nicer. And really, fellas, sometimes that's all it takes. 10, 15 minutes more. And you can go on to the next step with a clear head. Not wondering if you're going to see it, what it's going to look like by the time you get back. Clear is not going to cover it. It's clear. Now we don't have to be concerned with that at all. Looks really nice. Now, I think we're going to give a little spritz on the brake clean one more time. Okay. No, I'm not going to use brake clean on my face. Maybe just a little water. Okay. This gray hair, I'm starting to look like an Elsinore tank. All right. When these tanks originally had a brush finish on them, it was sent down a conveyor belt. And that conveyor belt, on each side of it, on each side of the tank, there were two barrels like this. They were much bigger, of course. They were the whole height of the tank, spinning around. They had burlap on them. They're spinning around. The tank goes through there, and that's how you get the quote unquote brushed finish. We don't have that option. We don't know exactly what that looked like. But one thing I can tell you is, because I've seen enough new old stock tanks and some refinished tanks, but certainly the NOS ones, no two tanks are the same. They could be brand new, out of the box, 2025. They could be 52 years ago. From 52 years ago, open up the box, you'll see two different tanks. So, but one thing is consistent, and I've got one here that not quite done yet, but the line on the front is on the flat side, not around the curve. It's on the flat side because, as you can imagine, this thing is spinning around. It doesn't spin around to the front of the tank. It's curved there. It just goes to right about where I have, where you could see a line right there. Okay? But no two tanks are the same. So what I like to do, and I've done enough to be able to do this without taking any real measurements or anything, I put my tape on the flat side of the tank, just above the curve. Keep it as straight as possible. Bring it around the side, and I end it when I come around that curve. The curve should end right about where the back of the filler spout is. And that's how I do it every time. Are some different than the others? They should be. No two tanks are the same, but they're close. So someone's not going to walk up and say, this is wrong. Not wrong. Just not what you may have been thinking it should look like. I always cut the front end first. Then I bring this over the front. In order not to get any sand scratches on the front of my tank, I mask it off. I got a little spot of glue right here. I don't really have to take it off, but I got a little spot of glue from that pinstriping tape. Got that off. I just tear it off enough to kind of cover the curve as I'm going around. Yes, I could get other pinstripe tape, 1/4 inch, 3/8, 1/2 inch, and could keep going around, but that's really a waste. All right. Now this side's protected in case I go over it with the sandpaper. Whatever issue might come along. I'm not going to scratch up this after I worked diligently to make it as nice as we did. Now I've got this down to, well, actually I brought it right down to 400. I'm going to go over the little circular motion one more time with the 400, especially down here, because where I've sanded top to bottom, I've got lines going this way. So if I just cut straight in, you might see some of those lines. Want to use a circular motion, nice and lightly, get a good even finish across the side of the tank. Then we'll come down with the grain. Notice how I go over the tape just a little bit. Just a little bit and lightly. I don't want to rip the tape. I've got my hyperlapse cam running back here. It's been running for an hour and 17 minutes. Hour and 17 minutes. And with the hyperlapse, it cuts it down to about 2.5 minutes. So I like to show those to the customer. I can't very well send them an hour and a half, 2-hour video of me working on the tank. I could send pictures, but when they see that hyperlapse video, they like that. Sometimes there's been people that have been right here watching. Tyler McGregor was one. There was another guy too, where they were actually watching me work on this tank. Okay. Everything's nice and even. I'm going to go back up to 320. Now, this is what I do. I would suggest you do it as well, as opposed to going down the whole side of the tank. I cut my lines close first. In other words, I'm going to make sure I'm parallel with this line right here. And I go lightly into the tape. And if the tape breaks away, it's even better. None of them had an exact sharp line, really. What I told you earlier, like a little car wash it was with the burlap barrel spinning around, it's like that. So if the tape breaks away or it gets a little uneven, that's okay. Keep your paper even with the edge. keep your sandpaper over the tape if you can at all times. In other words, when you're sanding this way, don't go back all the way and then come back over the tape. It's going to pull the tape away. It's not going to give a little jagged edge like you're getting now. It may pull the tape away and then you're going to have to start over again. So keep it over the tape when you're doing this. Okay, looking pretty good. I usually do this from the front, not the side, but I want you to be able to see what's going on. The back's not so bad, but careful. Pick up the front of my hand a little bit. Like I just mentioned to you a moment ago, I don't want to pull the tape away. Try and go all the way to the back, all the way to the front. If you stop in the middle, you're gonna have some different sanding marks or scratch marks, for lack of a better word. You're gonna have to go over them again, which is not a problem. It's just nicer when you go from the tape all the way to the back. I'm gonna pass over it one more time. I'm seeing a couple of little scratches in here, little hazy scratches. Go over it one more time with the 320. Then I'm gonna wipe it down really good. And I'm gonna go over it with the 400. right. My battery is running low. Let's see how that's possible. But... All right. Okay. All right. Got a little gum, got a little residue along that edge. We'll clean that up. Okay. I don't know if you remember what it looked like this morning. It wasn't all that bad, but it did have some dents in it. Getting a lot of glare here, guys. But yeah, there you can see a little bit better. I've still got some things to do on the top, but I just wanted to give you guys a little, I don't know if I want to call it a tutorial, a little class, so to speak. I had to get those real shallow dents out. And that's, I mean, that's almost shining. I mean, you got a little bit of a reflection in that thing right now. Yeah, a little bit of a reflection in there, not just a shadow. And that's 400 with 400 grit. Yes, I could compound it right now with a rag. Nice soft cloth. Go over it a couple times and you'd be able to see yourself in that. Okay. That's it for today on Tank Bangers. Half my head is cut off. Half my batteries went dead. Half my. I'll be back tomorrow with another episode live at 9 a.m. Don't forget, at 12 today, you have the Next Time Try This video coming up. And I've been posting a lot of stuff lately. Older restorations that I've done over the years. Some really good videos. What else? Interviews. All through July, we had Don Kadalski, Sue Fish, Steve Stackable, Debbie Matthews. We had, there were a couple of other ones. Scott Harden. We had Scott Harden yesterday, and we've got some coming up. Last night, I went to post one for later this week. I hit the wrong button. Brian Myerscough. Great interview. So that's already up. You can go listen to the Brian Myerscough video at any time. It's really good. You know, many of these interviews that I did going way back, 2019, 2020, they were over the phone. A lot of them were over the phone. And if you listen with your headphones, it's really good. You can hear it okay in the computer, but with headphones, it's really, really good. Okay? That's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, Vintage Motocross Q&A. There's new videos, new pictures going up all the time. Don't forget to support our sponsors. There we go. International Motocross Museum, Motion Pro, Full Circle Racing, Preston Petty Products, Bultaco East, Vinco. Vinco's only going to be with us a little bit longer. Tragedy struck that company a couple of weeks ago, or just a little over a week. I'll tell you more about that on the show Wednesday. And a good friend and a great welder, a wonderful fabricator, Gordon McCaffer, certified welder up in New York State. There's his number at the bottom of the screen. Gordon is also on Facebook. So if you need a nice stand for your bike that has a low pipe, you get one of those. George Ackerman got an open house coming up October 25th, 2025, that's 10 to 4. That's on County Line Church Road in Rutherford Glen, Virginia. All right, that's the 5th annual Moto Barn Fall event, the Moto Barn and the Mini Moto Barn. And I got the shirt on today, George, too. Yeah. All right. All right. That's enough advertising and enough talking and enough sanding for the past 90 minutes. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.